Harvest Kids grade school weekend team. I am trying something a little bit new. Last week was the first week I posted these videos of me just going through and explaining the lesson and kind of some details about the weekend, maybe some tips and tricks along the way. And my volunteers watched them. So they felt like it was helpful. So if you guys like it, I'll keep doing it for you too. You do not need to like or subscribe. This is not that kind of thing. I'm not that fancy. Just sitting here in my office with my phone kind of strategically placed in a pencil cup. So I'm going to try to go quickly and not take up too much time of your day, but I just want you to know what we're doing matters and it's making a difference for eternity. This week I had a phone call about a boy, one of our Harvest Kids who wants to be baptized. I also had a message asking me what we've been teaching their kids because they came home and both of them asked to pray with their grandparent to receive salvation. They want to follow Jesus for their whole life, and I think that's why we do it, right? So let's go ahead and jump in. Oh, first, sorry, the bad news. If you've not been in Harvest Kids in the last couple weeks, you have not heard. The kids have broken a few TVs, like 3 of them, with the balls. So we've kind of banned balls. In the meantime, I did get out the ping pong table and I ordered some paddles. So they can do that. They can still do air hockey. They can do Lego. I actually ordered some new games. They won't be here by Sunday, I don't think, but maybe. And then this week for pregame, I tried to pick some. I think the girls will like these, like the older girls. Any kid is welcome. They can watercolor paint. So we haven't actually done that in a couple months. So I think they'll be all over that. I will say it is hard to get them to stop once they get started. So we can let them know like, hey, you can get back to this if there's time at the end, or you can take it home and finish it at home. But we should clean up all coloring supplies, all Lego bins, all the things before we jump into our lesson, and have all the kids come join and learn that Jesus was rejected for saying unpopular things. And then from that, we know that, sorry, got distracted there. Sorry, picking back up again. Okay, Jesus was rejected for saying unpopular things. We're looking at Luke 4:16 through 30. Take a second to read that before you get here on Sunday if you can. Our key verse is, am I trying to get people to think well of me, or do I want God to think well of me? Am I trying to please people? If I were, I would not be serving Christ. It's Galatians 1:10. So it's kind of a tougher message, but I will be praying for the kids, and I'm sure you will be too, so that their hearts can be prepared to learn this truth. So when you arrive, if you can come in at 9:30, I'm going to take back our Harvest Kids Volunteer Hospitality Room. I will have some hot drinks in there for you, and I've got some granola bars in there. So if you want to get here at 9:30, find me in that room. It's right next to the Harvest Kids counter, and we can just connect and pray for the morning together, and then get ready to go do some great ministry. That's 9:30. So then you'll have connection time from 9:45 to around 10:10. Start wrapping up at 10:10. Again, they're not going to want to stop painting. So then do whole group time together, and then start to split. You can split and do the reflect and respond stations if that's not been working well together whole group wise. Sometimes we like to grab the clipboards and let the kids spread out across the room. And I always tell them 10 minutes. I don't really give them 10 minutes, but, you know, just to try to tell them this is time for you to talk to God, just you and God, 10 minutes, and encourage them to do that independently. Or if you want to go into the classrooms and then give them that time, but let them know it's independent time. I also am thinking that it might be time to bring back snack so that once they come to the tables, they're a little bit more focused when they get there. So I think I will have snack for them on Sunday morning. Don't promise it every week though. So the first thing we do in our small groups is we do our ABCs, application activity, Bible memory activity, and our cool prayer activity. So The first thing we have is our application activity, and it's mirror, mirror. So one kid's the guesser, and they turn their back to the group, close their eyes, and then without the guesser seeing, silently as a group, choose another kid to be the mover. So you choose the mover, and then tell the guesser they can open their eyes and turn back around. At that point, the mover is going to slowly start moving their hands or feet. So something like this, slow, easy. Once the movement begins, the guesser will have to guess which kid everyone is mirroring. So encourage the mover to make slow movements so everyone can stay connected. It will help. And then just continue until the guesser picks the right person. You can do additional rounds. You can have a different guesser, a different mover. Just keep going. Have fun. And then we just say, you know, sometimes it's easier for us to mirror our friends. It's easier for us to just do the things our friends think and say. But God calls us to mirror someone else, and that's Jesus. And when we mirror Jesus, it means we're doing and saying the things that please God. It's not always easy. And sometimes pleasing God means doing unpopular things. How important is it that our kids know that, right? Even now in elementary school. There's some discussion questions there. Think about the way you act around your friends when you're with God. Are you more concerned with pleasing them or with pleasing God? Have you ever avoided doing something that's pleasing to God because you thought your friends would think you're lame? And then have them turn to their Bibles to 2 Corinthians 5:9 and ask someone to read it aloud. We always want to have the kids get out their Bible. The more comfortable they come opening the Bible, and it's just something they do, the more likely they're going to do that as an adult. And then another question, if you cared only about pleasing God and you don't care at all about what your friends thought, what might you do differently? So those are some really rich discussion questions. I find that the kids, they know if we run out of stuff to do or like we're done, they're smart and they have figured out like, oh, if I just go really fast and fly through this, we'll be done and I can go back to playing ping pong or an air hockey or whatever it is. So last week when I was in with them, I had to tell them things like, hey guys, we're doing this for another 20 minutes. So sit down and get comfortable. We did split and close the curtains again, like back in 2020, early March. I think that was the last time the curtains were closed, but we're going back to that and it was great. It helped everyone focus. It lowered the noise level, so the conversations were really good. And again, that might be a place where let's sit down and have snack together and really talk about this. There is a version for younger kids of the mirror mirror activity. I guess I can explain it to you. It's very similar. The questions are just maybe a little bit different. So you can kind of decide if you have 2nd and 3rd graders or 4th and 5th graders. And then for the Bible memory activity, we have it's a coloring sheet. So it might be a little tricky to get some buy-in, but maybe we can make a prize, make it a competition, make it if you finish this and it looks really cool, by the time your parents come, you can get a prize. I can pull a prize bin if you need to. So this is it, and what an important and powerful verse to put up somewhere in their house. Maybe that's it too, like, hey, if you show Miss Katie a picture of this posted at your house next week, you get a prize. I'll give them a prize for that. I got a lot of prizes. I'm gonna clean out my closet. And then our cool prayer activity is lending a hand. So ask the kids to think of someone in their family they can pray for. Give each kid a washable marker and tell them to write their name of the person on top of their hand or on a note card. I always got in trouble if I wrote on myself at school and I came home at dinner, my dad would be like, why did you write on yourself? So I like get nervous when I see this in the curriculum. So if they prefer a note card, if you prefer a note card, that's an option too. Otherwise their hand, they won't lose that and they will take that home. So they can talk about why they're going to pray for that person, and share. They love to share their prayer requests. And then whether you pray for them or you ask a couple of kids to help join you in prayer, whatever makes the most sense with your group, do it. But you can take that time to pray. When they are done, we have our regular Lego, ping pong, air hockey. but I would really encourage you to use as much of the time that we have, because we actually only get our kids for about 90 minutes a week, which isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things, and the impact that we want to have in their lives. So I'm praying for you. I'm cheering for you. You're going to do a great job. Email me if you have any questions, or I'll see you Sunday morning at 9:30. Enjoy your Saturday. Bye.